Uh, we'll start with a very new remedy. In the last class, if you remember, for the PGs we did HEPAR, and of course Netromer was done, and sulfur. So we'll continue with PG learning and PG teaching. See now when you look at Materia Medica, it's a big ocean. After finishing your UG classes, I hope you agree with me, because Materia Medica can be taught from any angle or from different angle. We can try to understand Materia Medica. And one important exercise of a PG student is to understand materia in different angles. Rather than going from common name till the modalities, we need to have some variation. So I have tried to attempt one such variation in this class. Okay. And now what I am trying to do here is, see, you know, for any effect there has to be a cause. This is a simple theory which we all believe in. If there is an effect, then there has to be a cause. See, similarly, if you look at the vast Materia Medica, you will see various things happening in Materia Medica because of a cause. Can I have some quick examples? What is the importance of role, or what is the role of causative factor in understanding Materia Medica better? So I mean, can you come up with some examples so that I'll also feel nice that you are trying to follow what I'm trying to introduce. Okay, I mean, whenever we talk of cause, what immediately comes to all of our mind is ailments. Okay, ailments is a very important area. So what we'll do is, keeping ailments in mind, today we'll try to explore a very important remedy. So we are trying to understand a remedy through causative factors. Okay, anyway, I have some objectives also set. Now this will give us more clarity, like what exactly I am trying to focus in today's class. Okay. Now what exactly you PG learner should understand at the end of the class? I didn't disclose the remedy, but the remedy's name has come up. Now first thing is, from your UG knowledge, you will try to recall the ailments of causticum. First objective. Second thing is, I have gone a step ahead. Okay, and we are trying to understand what will be the effect of this cause in causticum. So this is a very important thing that I am trying to explore. Okay. So as a UG student, you know this. Fine. Each remedy has a list of causative factors. Now what that effect, many of us are not aware of. Fine. Arsenic, exposure to cold, ailments from. Now what happens in arsenic when they get exposed to cold, we are all not very well aware of. So here we are trying to take up this important component. We know the ailments of causticum, fine, and we are going a step ahead in understanding what is the effect of this ailment in a causticum constitution. I hope I am clear. Now this is the second very important objective. Now the third thing, how causative factor helps us. See, the causative factor will also help us in understanding or building up the portrait of a given constitution. Okay. Now I'll just explain. This is a new learning, so I am not surprised to see some faces. You know, I mean, it's something that you will sink in with the class at the end of 45 minutes. But please make sure the objectives are clear. Unless the objectives are not clear, then class will not be very interesting. Recall the elements first. Second thing is, what is the cause and effect? Third thing is, can we build a picture based on the elements? Any clarifications here? Okay. So if you are fine, we will move ahead. Now the first component. I feel this first component or the first objective, you people can answer. Recall the ailments of causticum from your UG, PG, whatever knowledge. What are all the common ailments? Grief, very good. one of your friend rightly says, grief, good. Okay, see, injustice, yes, he cannot support, I agree. But that's more of a mental symptom, fine. We are looking at the causative factors. Grief is one. Exposure to, okay. Dr. Aniket has a point, you need to clarify. Exposure to cold, damp, wet weather. Now the weather that we have in Bangalore. Now is this a causative factor? Yeah. Now this is where causticum differs from other remedies. Wet weather, causticum they feel better. Amelioration, wet weather. This is where it is different from Dulcamara, natrum sulph, arenia and all those remedies. They feel better in damp weather. So ailments from cold, dry weather. Good. Cold, dry air. Beautiful. 2. Any other causative factors? I was expecting a big list. Huh? Very good. Yeah. Your friend has a point. Burns. Can somebody quickly comment? Okay. See, causticum can be a very good remedy for burns. First point I'll discuss. Or never well since burns. Okay, we'll discuss that. 3 ailments. Any other ailments you can think of? Emotional and physical. You are free to contribute both. Okay, now, very good. Yeah. Yeah, it comes under grief, but you also have under the mind chapter ailments from death of loved ones. One of the top remedies, you have causticum. Okay. Anyway, we'll look into the PPT. We'll look into the ailments of causticum. The first ailment is grief. The first ailment is grief. Okay. Now the question is, what happens because of grief? What is the effect of grief in causticum? That's the first question. And the second question here is, which are the other remedies which has ailments from grief? Hope I am clear. Okay. So what is the effect of grief in causticum? Probably that will take it up a little later. We'll talk of the second question that I had asked. Few very important remedies which has ailments from grief. Very good. Ignitia, good. Natriumur. Phosphoric acid, beautiful. Hope you did not see the list. Okay, no problem. Good. So Ignitia, phosphoric acid, Natriumur. Yes, top 3 remedies. Can you add one more? Top remedies. Aurum. Okay. So see, if you look, yeah, Staphysagra. I mean, if you look at your repertory, ailments from grief under mind, you have plenty of remedies. Fine. And if we start discussing all of them, then we will not continue with causticum. So I will just take up only the important remedies. Okay. And as a PG scholar, you should also know when Ignitia, when phosphoric acid, when staph, when aurum, when natrum in grief. Okay. So now before I contribute, can we just compare these remedies? Can we have a small comparison? Now we have named the remedies. Good, very good. Now when or how do you compare? Very good. Anything that is acute. Good, agreed. Anything that is acute, you can think of Ignitia. Beautiful. Okay. Long-standing grief is phosphorus. Then Natriumur? Then phosphoric acid? Okay, good. Okay, yeah. So, phosphoric acid, you will have more of indifference coming up. Good, agreed. It's a valid point. And can have little more clarity on those 4 or 5 remedies that I have displayed. So Ignitia to start with. See now, grief itself can be an entire lecture. You know, we can talk of grief. At least not today. Some other day we will talk of grief. I have a beautiful PPT. What grief is, how each constitution present themselves in grief. All that we'll discuss some other day. Now, if you look at ignitia, one thing is the grief which is sudden, acute grief. The grief which is acute, good. Then, very beautiful, good, sighing. See, don't miss sighing. I have told you, many times in our clinical practice, sighing can be a beautiful entry point. I have shared cases in ignitia where people sighing, and purposely I have avoided ignitia and I have looked at in other way, prescribed a wrong remedy, again came back to ignitia, and after ignitia they are better. So sighing is a beautiful sign that you observe as a physician in ignitia. So sighing, good. Acute grief, then. Okay, Padmash has a point. What she is trying to tell you is something stuck. This again a beautiful point. Globus hystericus, a ball-like a feeling, or when they are in grief, they have some kind of a constriction, choking in the throat. Don't miss ignitia. It can be a confirmatory point for you in ignitia. Good. Any other points? What will grief lead to? One important point in ignitia, grief leads to hysteria. Okay? Grief leading to hysteria. So let me just share my points that I have made for you, notes. So what you see is grief which is of recent origin. Acute stage of grief. See, grief which is out of proportion to the event. What loss, what event has happened, and the amount of grief that they are showing, that is not proportionate. Fine. Indirectly, a beautiful remedy for hysteria. They blow out of proportion. The reaction is out of proportion. There one has to think of ignitia. Okay. Beautiful remedy, it does wonders. Uncontrollable weeping, and when you console, they will not like it. And emotions which keep changing rapidly. These are all the pointers that you need to remember in ignitia. And hysteria which comes from grief. I have highlighted that particular point. It is very, very important. Okay. So grief in ignitia for a PG scholar. Now whenever we talk of ignitia, the remedy, other remedy that comes up is natremur. Okay. Now what is it that you have in natremur? The elder sister of ignitia, few authors say. What is it that you have in natremur? Okay, if it is acute, it is more of chronic. Good. What else? Now see, I want you to contribute keeping the ignitia symptoms that I have given you. What have I told? The grief is out of proportion. How is the grief in natremur? Grief is more controlled. Good. Grief is more controlled. It might be, the loss might be more than ignitia. Artha agta idea? The loss is more than ignitia, but they are controlled. Aita? They don't react. Fine? Like ignitia, out of proportion reaction. Hysterical reaction might be missing in natremur. They are very dignified. They have a good control of what they are trying to do. So chronic effects, see, more controlled. I was expecting this. What is that? Silent grief. Many natrums, when you talk to them, you will not even realize that they have gone through so much. A friend, mother, sister, somebody will tell, sir, recently she lost her husband, she lost her son, she lost her father, whatever it is. They maintain it in a very dignified manner. That is natrum. And they cannot cry in grief. We have people telling, I didn't cry when my dad died. So that pent up grief, fine. And if you are able to make them weep, meaning if you create an atmosphere and if you are successful in making a natrum cry, you have won the battle, fine. So cry cannot in grief, and see, they easily take on grief. And what you see is, in ignitia it's more of hysteria. Here it is more of dwelling. They dwell over past disagreeable events. Okay, that's natrum. So now before we move to the next remedy, I hope you are clear. Ignitia, acutely, more of chronic, more of dignified, more of controlled grief is what you have in natrum. Okay, ignitia is chilly, natrum is hot. Fine. Don't get confused. Now we'll come back to aurum. Quick inputs about aurum. Aurum is a remedy we have spoken so much. We have had webinars on aurum. Okay, so what is that grief you have in aurum? Yeah, why? Yes, very good. Aniket is quick. Why do they go into grief? See, I didn't ask you this question. Why natrum and ignitia go into grief? Natrum and ignitia go into grief. Why? What is the reason? Loss. Loss of loved one, death. Now, why will aurum go into grief? What loss takes aurum to grief? Is more of position. Is more of respect. Fine. So, see the understand the difference. Long-lasting grief. Grief which comes from losing money. Beautifully given in our repertory under the chapter mind, under the rubric grief, sub-rubric, grief from losing money. And Dr. Aniket quickly told, grief from losing respect and position. That is aurum. You are getting the difference between ignitia, natrum, aurum. And this is the problem you had when you were in UG. Sir, grief, so many remedies. Now, as a PG, we slowly unfold that each remedy in grief, they have their own picture. Fine. So, losing money, which remedy should come to you? When I say losing money, one remedy. Okay, very good. Calcarea, good. Okay, Bryonia. See, you are giving me the list of money-minded remedies. Agreed. Bry, Sorayanam, Calcarea floor, beautiful. But one remedy, ailments from losing money. They are all there, what you have told. I am nothing against. In the bargain, you are missing one very important remedy. Ailments from losing money. Not Virat, could be Virat. But what is that remedy? Money. Huh? No, it's not IOS. No issues. It's not IOS. Could be Virat. But a simple remedy. Not Lyco, not stramonium, not fluoric acid. See, now this is what happens. We always think of big remedies. And it's a very simple remedy. And I want you to remember this. And this is arnica. Ailments from loss of money, losing money. Fine. People go into hemiplegia after losing money. Arnica can bring them back. It will not bring the money. Fine. Yeah, I mean, he can come out of the situation. Or in aurum, the grief will mainly give rise to headache and suicidal thoughts from grief. Okay? Suicidal thoughts from grief. Now, another very important remedy. Phosphoric acid. Acute, chronic, we were a little confused. See, phosphoric acid, like natrum, has chronic grief. And what is the hallmark of phosphoric acid? Okay, good. There is indifference. I have got nothing against indifference. Now, what is very important is physical complaints which comes from grief. Are you getting my point? Physical debility. They are very tired. Why are they tired? Because they had a history of grief. So, physical symptoms which comes because of grief, like weakness, okay? And of course, you told indifference. Yes, agreed. Indifference and grief more at night, okay? Grief more at night in bed. This is a valid point because in causticum you have something different coming up. See, when grief affects more of the body, okay? And problems can be many. They can get jaundice after grief. Only remedy is phosphoric acid. Hair fall, baldness, headache, weakness, the list goes on. Want of time I have cut short the list, but the list can go on. Hair fall, etc., etc. So phosphoric acid which has headache, or which has physical complaints because of grief. Now the remedy that we are talking. Many times we lose the track. Why you start telling so many remedies? Which is the remedy is discussing. Now this is the remedy we are discussing. To bring you students back. Causticum. Okay. Now what is the grief we have in causticum? What is the result of grief in causticum? Any idea? So like phosphoric acid, like natriumur, the grief is long lasting. See, it is not like ignitia. Fine. And I was reading Professor G.V.'s book on Materia Medica Viva, and this point I have taken it from that particular book, the entire para, and what he says is, grief in causticum is long lasting with deep sorrow. Causticum requires a longer period of time and a series of grief and sorrow to come up with symptoms. See, they need a series of grief and sorrow to come up with symptoms. One grief, causticum may not come up with symptoms. Okay? So that's why they say prolonged, long lasting, and it should be deep. Deep sorrow which will bring upon grief. Now what happens in causticum? Grief day and night. In phosphoric acid, what was it? Night in bed. When he is going to bed, there he had grief. In causticum, the grief is more day and night. Okay? And milk absent from grief. Milk absent from grief. Milk absent from sadness. Agnes. You know why I have brought this point? Because whenever we say Agnes, what comes to our mind? We think only of male. Correct, no? But in Allen's keynote, beautifully given, sadness will cause agalactia. Fine? In a lactating mother, if there is some sadness and then suddenly milk flow stops, and they say if you give Agnes, milk flow will restore. Beautiful. Okay? Agnes. Now here what is it? Milk absent from grief. From grief. And general weakness, like phosphoric acid, causticum can also bring on general weakness. Okay? So we have just touched one ailment. What is that single ailment? Ailments from grief. Okay? Similarly, I will talk of other ailments, but I am not going in so much of depth. I have just given you an idea how an ailment from can be learnt. Okay? Fine? If we start applying it to every ailment of causticum, then it will become a very elaborate class. Fine? I know it is worth it, but we don't have so much of time. We need to finish our syllabus. Okay? Keeping the syllabus in mind, I have just given you a jalak, how it can be studied. And out of interest, you can apply. Now the second ailment in causticum. What is this? Ailments from death. Death of loved ones. Fine? Okay? Again, one of the top remedies. In your synthesis, it is 3 marks. Ailments from death of loved ones. Other remedies? Okay. Same remedies will come up. Similar remedies. Fine? But I was going through the repertory. There is one sub-rubric, ailments from death of mother. Okay? In that you have sub-rubric, father they have not given, they have given ailment from death of mother. Fine. So any wild guess which is that remedy? I remember sharing it long back in some other class. It's not causticum. Single remedy, we don't use it very often, and that remedy is aurum, murum, natronatrum. Ailments from death of mother. Okay? We'll get back to causticum. Ailments from death of loved ones. Again you have aconite, phosphoric acid, ars ignitia, and of course stephysagria. Can you think of any other causes? Now that you are getting into the causticum thing, you are sinking into the causticum class. Can you recall some other ailments in causticum? grief, death, burns, of course, and of course exposure to cold air. We'll discuss that. See, something interesting you have in causticum. What is this? Ailments from? Can you differentiate this image quickly? Two images. Huh? Ailments from? Huh? Okay, which is night watching? This one. So ailments from night watching and ailments from loss of sleep. Loss of sleep. Okay. Now, how do you apply this in your clinical practice? When will you take ailments from loss of sleep? When will you take ailments from night watching? Is my question clear? Yes. So if it is clear, okay, like watchmen. So all watchmen, can we take ailments from night watching? See, he's got a point, but what is important is, what is night watching? What is night watching? No. Night watching. See, for example, we had cocculus. If you remember cocculus. Cocculus is the top remedy for night watching. Ailments from night watching. What used to happen in cocculus? Yeah. So they take care. They're nursing. They're taking care of some friend, relative, some sick person. They are so much involved about that sick person. You know, they are disturbed. See, night watching not necessarily means watching TV, watching laptop, watching mobile. Hahnemann's time, all these things were not there. So what he meant there was, night you are active, night you are alert, fine. Night you are taking guard of the situation, okay, fine. So not necessarily watching TV or doing what night, what was the word, watchman. It's not necessarily those things. But night watching is like, you know, your senses are very alert, you are awake, you are taking guard of the situation, fine. That is night watching. Father is sick, mother is sick, she might ask water, she might turn, or I have to give the tablet, I have to be awake, fine. Now in present generation we can add all these things, like watching TV, football match, or exams, fine. Those things might come up. Now what is loss of sleep? Loss of sleep. Loss of sleep means you are not getting sleep. See, there need not be any of these situations, fine, but you are not getting sleep. That is loss of sleep. So causticum has both night watching, ailments from, and loss of sleep. Are you clear with the meaning? Fine, it's very important. Many times we would have passed, we would have written cocculus in our exams, but then we will not realize the importance of few terms. With what intention those terms were used, we will not understand. Okay. So any remedies that you have in your mind? You have in your mind means, what are all the remedies? Remedies you have in your mind means you can tell me any remedy. Remedies for loss of sleep, remedies for night watching. Huh? Okay, passiflora is mainly for sleeplessness. Okay, I mean, we used to give during our younger days, we used to mix it in water and give, oh fine, passiflora. But then as we have evolved, I mean, those remedies usage has reduced. Okay, but what remedies? Lachesis for what? Huh? Night watching. See, lachesis, they are more alert at sleep. Many lachesis patients, they have this statement, sir, I can study better at night. So once everybody is asleep, I start studying. Or I can work better at night. Fine. Lachesis is a night creature. Snakes, you know, they are more active at night. So lachesis person can be more active at night is what you need to understand. Nitric acid, cocculus, fine. And yeah. Now what happens in causticum? What is the result of night watching in causticum? Breast milk scanty after night watching. We saw something else happening in causticum related to milk. What was that? After grief there is there is loss of milk, no milk. Here, scanty milk. Milk is there. Mother is still able to feed, but the milk production, the quantity, that is getting decreased. Only remedy, okay, which has, what, breast milk, scanty after night watching. And night watching in causticum can also bring on anxiety, okay. So moving ahead, ailments from fear, a very frightful constitution. We will discuss this. See now, ailments from fear, fright also tells us that causticum is a fearful constitution. Okay, we will discuss that in the next class. Now, what happens because of fear? What is the effect of fear in causticum? This is what becomes important. See, speech stammering. Sorry, this is not, one second. This is not because of fear, but what you need to understand here is speech stammering after vexation. You are vexed with something, you are annoyed, you are angry with something, and then you start stammering. You start stammering. The remedy is causticum. Or chorea, which comes after fear. Chorea. Only remedy is causticum. Only remedy is causticum. Okay. I will just change my statement. These things are because of this. Okay, 1 second. So, fear, but here I have put vexation. Vexation and fear, they are different. Vexation is more related to being annoyed, being angry. Okay. So, chorea after fear, causticum, and speech stammering after vexation, the only remedy is causticum. So, because of fear, they allow chorea. What is chorea? The involuntary movements. Okay, we'll limit it to that information. Okay. Now, what will anger cause in causticum? Ailments from anger. Okay. Now, because of anger, they might have sleeplessness, perspiration, chorea, and convulsions. Okay. These are few things. I still feel I messed up here. I feel anger, the result of anger is all this, and the result of fear is this. I'll just confirm, but from my understanding, when you're making a note, I feel chorea and speech stammering is because of anger, and sleeplessness, perspiration, chorea, and convulsions is mainly because of fear. Right. So I feel this is right. Anger, it's a very bad way of concluding. But anger, chorea and stammering. And this is mainly because of fear and fright. Okay. So again, causticum. If you again look at the drug picture of causticum, what is that comes to our mind? Dr. Venkatadri was talking of injustice cannot support. Yes, he is a very angry remedy. We'll discuss that in the next class. Again, one more thing that comes up very prominently in causticum mind is they are very sympathetic. They are very caring. They are very loving. When we used to study drug pictures of causticum from different materials, what still I remember is when some other child is hit, okay, fine, the other child will be crying. Now, why is this child crying is very important. Why is he crying? Because he might be afraid teacher might hit him next. That is not the picture of causticum. The picture in causticum is he feels bad for him. They feel his pain and they start weeping. Why are you crying? Because it is next your turn, madam will hit. Are you afraid of that? No, I am not afraid of that. But my friend, that boy is hit. And that pain he feels and he starts weeping. They are so sympathetic. And that's why what is the word that is used in causticum? It's not just sympathetic, intense sympathy. They are highly sympathetic. Okay? The intensity of sympathy in causticum is too much. Intense sympathy. So, ailments which comes from cares and worries, caring about others, worrying about others, might bring in some causative factors. And not only worries, now we will talk of the physical ailments. Ailments from suppressed eruptions. One of the prominent remedies. Quickly, other remedies. Sulfur, metals. Yeah, cuprum, zincum, okay, mesothelium, lot of remedies. Now, for you important is what will causticum result? What is the effect of suppressed eruptions in causticum? That is very important. Okay. Now I have a small list taken from the repertory. Mania. We have only 4 remedies in our materia medica which can bring in mania. Hepar, zincum, antimtat and causticum. Mania from suppressed eruptions. And impaired hearing, paralysis, hemiplegia, convulsions from suppressed eruptions. Okay. We'll go to the next one. Okay. So now this is what Dr. Aniket was speaking. Ailments from exposure to cold, dry weather. Fine. So here they can either have respiratory complaints. More than respiratory complaints, they will have neurological problems. You all know causticum is a great remedy for paralysis. Okay. So neurological complaints, rheumatism, paralysis, and of course respiratory affections, asthma, cough, coming after exposure to dry, cold air, causticum. Now the last thing here, last ailment will be burns. Now quickly, other remedies and when causticum, or what happens in causticum because of burns. What happens in causticum? Never well since burns. Yes, Dr. Ilam. Okay. So what is it? Contractures? Fine. Apart, yeah, strictures, contractures. Apart from that, good, agreed. You can also have ulcerations. Okay, ulceration of the burnt part. And Dr. Phobister says, child who stops growing after a severe burn. He was normally growing. Accidentally some burns happened. Fine. And after which he has stopped growing. Okay. And this again from Vitalka's professor's book I have taken, like atrophy of burnt limbs after burns. You can think of causticum, which is the only other remedy never well since burns. One is causticum and the other remedy is carbolic acid. Never well since burns. Carbolic acid. And in carbolic acid, you will see more of ulcers. Okay. So, ailments from of causticum is what we have tried to understand. Now again going back to the objectives that we had planned. What was the first objective? To recall ailments, so which we have successfully done. And then what did we do with the second objective? We have tried to link what is the cause and what is the effect. Because of burns, what is happening? There can be atrophy of limbs, child may not grow, fine, or you can have ulceration, you can have scars, whatever, fine. So we are trying to link the cause and the effect, very important. As a practitioner, I feel this exercise is very, very much relevant. Tomorrow when you are sitting in a clinic, you should know And we have also tried to differentiate grief ailment. Taking only ailment from grief, we have tried to differentiate other remedies. And roughly, we will also try to get a picture of causticum mind, which I will be discussing in the next class. So how is causticum? Fine. We will get some idea. He is sympathetic, he is a very angry person, he might be a timid person. All those things, we will get some idea. Now, we will explore the mind in detail in the next class. So you will also have some time. Please go through the source books. You come back. We will try to, so that we will have a better interaction. It will not be one way. Okay. Any questions before I close? Anything? As a PG scholar, anything you would like to add? Anything that I missed? Or anything you would like to ask? Fine? Clear? Okay, if it's clear,